absolutely beautiful.
For finally, we have finished the wheat field. Now actually I finished this some time ago. However, while getting planting, I got distracted with one build and then another and then several others. So let me give you a flyby tour of what we've done in the last 6 months. Now the entire wheat field I believe is 100,000 or 102.4 thousand. There was a period of time where I had to go onto my other account and play on there, so most of them were planted on this account, but like 20,000 or so were planted on the other. So yeah, it should be around 100,000. But yeah, wheat field stretches for quite a while, and over here we got our first fortress. Now there'll be several of these all around Metasvale, but I thought I'd give you a quick look here. Now we had the mountain and the base and all that ready up top, but I wanted to incorporate the castle into it, so let's take a quick flyby. This and a couple other builds I've done on stream. I've been trying to get into a bit more streaming aspect of Minecraft and all, and also that way I can focus more on building in creative mode, and because I've recently learned how to use Litomatic. This was the very first build, or second build, I guess the windmill was the first build, the windmill that was over there, that I've used Litomatic on, and trying to learn more of that mod and all that. That way I can also get used to the shapes and all that, because I've built a few decent builds, like these two towers are from the builds that I have in this direction, this build and these guys. However, I built those all off by memory, and I didn't want to have to do that again. So I took a schematic of them, put them in my creative test world, and tore them apart so that I could have them and incorporate them into other builds. Now, I haven't done much over in this direction yet. Mostly planning out, haven't done much planning on the actual structure yet. However, I do have plans. Now, just so you can see the full extent of the wheat field here. And perhaps one day in the future I'll even extend it further, but that depends on how far I can get render distance to go. Because right now I'm playing with normal Minecraft, and I have my recording account, recording with the replay mod, so I can get that cool little entrance you got there. But I'll be using that as a way to record time lapses and all that, so it's a bit more stable. And here's that windmill I was talking about. And yes, I sacrificed a netherite ingot for this. Anyways, the windmill where they grind up the the wheat and all that, and also have maybe some, you know, all that kind of stuff. Now here is actually me trying out with the new mud blocks, since we did update to 1.19 shortly after my last video there, or could have been at before. And this is meant to be the fishing docks, or the fishing boat rental rather. So you got the bridge here, the boats over there, you rent one for a day, you go upstream, or maybe you need to get supplies and all that. That's essentially where you would go to. Let's take a land here. So you'd essentially go here, you'd maybe take evening off, get a drink or something. I haven't done much of an interior here yet, but nice little build nevertheless. So come rent a boat or get supplies or whatever. Then you would go up here, or at least the story would go. You pass by the fortress, obviously defending the river from invaders. And eventually you'd come up here. Now this area is one of the areas that I'm going to work on very last. Right now I'm using it as mangrove farming area, so I haven't made a proper farm yet. But I'll have a bridge behind me here, I'll do some more landscaping. This is other side is that gate that we have on the other side. I plan on extending, making another one here, and making it actually passable somehow. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but be a nice little way to incorporate the nether portals into the actual tunnel system. And just say the nether portals are a magic barrier or whatever. Yeah, but that's nice. And on this side, I'll have maybe a couple... Well, this area here is essentially going to be the village, but I'm going to have a couple outposts and all that, like a couple towers and all that, protecting it from here. And this will be essentially the outer village, or where they have crop farms and grow all the flowers, and small little fields. It's not massive like the wheat fields over there. That's the breadbasket of Metasvale. That's where they essentially get the food for the armies. Here would be more urban, more small town feel. So this is where all the houses are a bit smaller than the scale I do inside the city. There'll be small farms around each place, or gardens I should say. And essentially you're just trying to feed your family, maybe just have a bit more to sell and trade with others. That's the plan. But that's going to be one of the last builds since it's one of the easier ones, and we'll also have a bit of enjoyment with all the terraforming and all that. But we got one fortress down. We got a bunch of new builds in here. All these builds here are all still ones that I've done by hand. However, this one here is a shipbuilding dock where they build the magic airships, or the flying airships. Essentially, this is a crane. They have the little areas where you can close up the dock and all that. This here is the storage area, both top and bottom. See, you can see them lifting up materials and all that, which I still gotta wax that copper. But yeah, essentially this entire building is meant to be just a built-up facade to prevent the wheels from rusting or warping since they're made out of wood and metal. And here would be essentially where they do contracts and all that to build the ships. But I'm kind of proud of the inside here. While it's not a very detailed design, you can see all the gears and stuff. It looks like a functioning machine, where it looks like it has some motion to it. Still want to do some things to come back here in the future, like add some more pipes and all that going through. Maybe add a couple things with armor stands and all that to give it a little bit more motion. But yeah, that's one of the things I've been working on here. Boop. I'm also working on the next build, the Imperial Library. As you can tell, I've already been mining it out on streams. But I've already got it mostly designed. I'm just working on a bit of color palette in the creative test world. Trying to learn world edit and all that so I can easily make multiple copies of everything so I can try out different designs. And I am really loving how it looks right now. I love the shape I have and all that. But I need to mine out a good area. Technically, I don't need to mine all this out, but I found it easier just to mine it all out and have a hollow space that I can maybe make some farms in, or add in different interiors and all that. So and so. Plus, I can also rebuild the mountain a bit more, because I have to extend the mountain in that area there, and such like that. But, yeah, I will be mining out most of this during the streams. And once we got that done, I'll start building up in time-lapses, in incremental time-lapses throughout the next couple of videos. The progress of the actual Imperial Library and Magi Academy. And also I'll be working on, after I'm done that, I'll also be working on terraforming and such, like here and there, but for now, let's get on to the good stuff. And here we are, to the alchemy shop. Now this is an area that I was trying to figure out, let's go to free camera, trying to figure out what to do with for a while, because I didn't have that much space. However, I decided to incorporate the roof into the landscape a bit, which will be improved once I get a bit more terraforming done. When a major bit of the buildings are finished. So you got the forge right there, and then you got the alchemy shop, slowly nestled in the alley corner. And of course there will be more buildings on the side here, and there, but for now, this little bit here is all we need. Also, that's not what I want. There we go. Now, this is mostly a place where I'm storing stuff like the skulk and all that for decoration. You got like a totem that he's working with. Just a couple of rare items that are being experimented with. Bookshelves, which I may even replace one of these once we update to 1.20 and hide some little stories and all that, but that's more for the library. Speaking of which, the library for both YouTube and Twitch, if somebody is constantly contributing to the community by either commenting, watching, or may even make it a redeem on Twitch or whatever, or however, I'll have it so that they can submit little short stories to add to the lore, or whether it be history of Metasvale, or story of a character or a warrior and all that. Just like a knight. However you want to do it, whether it be documents or whatever. I'll add it in, add your name, and put it in a book in the giant library once it's finished. Be something I plan to do for a while here, and I've already gotten one submission a bit early, but he already had a good one, and I'm quite the fan of it. In fact, I love it so much, I've made it official canon. Now, I'll read in a bit here, but here's my good friend Egghead, brewing his stuff away in the cauldron. Also, what I did here, I really love it, but what I did here was I put a campfire with the animation texture pack I have on, and also a crimson nelium block there to give it a bit more texture, like it's a pot full of whatever you want to assume it is, and just adding in little bits and bobs, so gotta enjoy that little bit. Work table with all his bits and bobs laying around that he's been working on. Maybe he's making a new powder mixture. Ooh, I don't like how that looks there. Mixing up some powders or something there. And this is also, can't open that because of the armor set. This is also where I store some of my potion brewing stuff. So my little potion room. Also, this here looks sweet. Just a little half-submerged withered skeleton skull being boiled away. For what reasons is he boiling it? We shall never know. A little bit of this and that. Yeah, just all the cool little stuff here. Also, I like this little lantern with that. Oh, it's nighttime. Well, that works. Didn't know it was nighttime. Probably should have guessed by the time, but still. Tell me what you think of this little build. It's one of the smaller builds, but it's also one of the ones that I feel like fits in with the atmosphere a bit more. And I plan to add in smaller versions of builds and all that throughout the city. Like here I'm going to have the Glowberry Ale House, which is going to be a bit of a shorter building with maybe a couple tall parts added. But with a little bit of a deck here, and then you got another building here and here, which I'm not sure what I'm going to put yet. But these are probably going to be just two smaller residential buildings. You got a little well and watering, a little well where the people come bring their buckets. Maybe a stream and all that coming down where they get water from. So it's not really a stream, but you get the point. You get the points. And here's what I was talking about this here. What I might do is I might pop out those amethyst bits there and extend it, make that entire hall. That scared me. Make this entire hallway amethyst and just cut out a little hole here so that you can walk right through. Give it a bit more. Also, how did I get in here? This is inside of the wood mill. Another build here that I plan on doing some work on. Now, as you can also see, the chest monster has gone crazy. In fact, it's probably the worst it's ever been, especially after I was pranked and with the 300 frogs a long while back. There's still frogs up on top of my mountains and all that I'm finding every now and then. And these guys are the only ones I spared and let survive. Anyways, I'm still trying to do some designs for the airships. So this area here is probably, I'm either going to make a small version of an airship or maybe make it so it's assembled in pieces, where they make the major pieces here and then assemble it on the airship dock, where they unload and load up all the airships and all. Yeah, you know, that kind of stuff. But that's obviously something we'll come back to once we get the rest of the city done. For now, let us fly around and crash land. That's not really crash land. Well, for now, folks, I think that's going to be it for this little bit of a tour. You're updated on the build, but we got some other stuff to do. So that leads up us into our next clip. Jolly good day, old chaps. Sir Silver here. Once again, that was a pretty long time lapse, and that was a whole 3 weeks worth of work to build up this entire thing. Now, you also might notice that I'm sporting a bit of a new skin. And it's been 3 years since I had that other skin, and I thought it was time to change it up. Especially since we are moving on from Strangecraft. Now, I'm still going to have this as my personal server and come back in here and do builds and work on this more as a stream side thing between seasons or when I need a break. But, as you'll see by the time of this video, within hours of this video going out, you'll see where I'm headed to next. Now, the next little bit is going to be a bit of roleplay, so let's hop in. But first, let me give you a tour of everything I built. Now, I didn't build this thing here. This was designed by Enigma. I got it from him and all that and just changed the colors and got some help with that. But that will play a bit in the roleplay here. I'm just waiting for some fellas to hop on here. But let me give you a quick show. We got the magic crystals. We got... Don't have any interiors for this yet. I want to get some tables and all that, because this is kind of like where they learn to do the magic and all that for the Imperial study. This would be like the courtyard, or the, I guess it could be the lobby area where they have hangouts and all that. We got little courtyards here where they can maybe eat dinner and enjoy the view and all. But my favorite part of this entire build, the library. This took absolute 2 days, real life time rather, to design. And then weeks to gather and build in survival.
and it is one of my proudest builds to date. You got the stairwells on the side, nice little bit here where the books, and I will be replacing these guys out here on the side, having bookshelves to hide little tidbits of information here and there. But let's fly up here. Oop. I actually have water elevators on the side hidden, but yeah, that's good. Magic crystal here, some windows. I love using the skulk as a roof. I've just fallen in love with it. And this took a while to get the shape right, and I adore it. I absolutely adore it. But yeah, let me all know what you think in the comments below. And maybe if you write a short story, I might just put it in this library. Who knows? Now, it is time for us to get right into it. So, let us begin. Let's go. The expedition was a success! That door was a bit strange, though. We must learn from it more.
Yeah, I definitely think we need to spend some time checking out its secrets.
I wonder what that crack means, though. And it reacted so strangely when it came in contact with my blood after I cut my hand on that obsidian.
It did seem to be putting off some kind of weird black gas. Did
Maybe
you
it was that
notice that?
legendary Misma?
That's the really big word, but perhaps.
Who
You
knows?
know what that is, right? Because I don't.
Nope, not really.
Okay.
It was lost to history.
Ah, yes.
We should start making our way up to the royal ceremony.
Oh, my lord, watch out!
What?
Oh,
No!
no!
Protect me!
Oh, you fiends! My lord, we must get to safety.
Oh, yes, hurry! Get Elytra! Protect me for a moment. I must heal.
They're coming.
Hurry, must make it to the airship.
My lord, where are you?
I'm on the tower.
Oh, okay.
Climb the ladder. Are they still attacking us? Are they following us up the ladder? They're following.
Below us, our lord.
We must go. We must go. We cannot let them onto the airship.
How do you words?
My foot's caught in the run.
How do we oh, I bet I know how to make this work. Are you aboard, sir?
Almost. They're following us.
Alright, I touch it here, flip this,
We got one of them off the ladder. We got one of them off the ladder.
Maybe if
we gotta get rid of this.
It going.
No, we have to get rid of this other guy first.
Maybe
Allow me to get rid of him.
Fast. Okay, you work on that. I'm gonna try and figure out how to go
Okay,
fast.
get the ship into full gear.
Full gear? How about just half gear?
You have your license, don't you?
A fishing license. Full speed ahead!
Oh no.
I hope he has insurance on this thing.